To cap off NHL goalie week, did VGK's Adin Hill get snubbed? Yes, off of NHL Network's top 10 goalies list. And keeping up with the goalie theme, we each rank our top 5 VGK goaltenders on the Golden Knights of all time. Stay with us right here, this WTF edition of Lockdown Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hi again from Las Vegas, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick. WTF, we are back here on a Friday. We appreciate everyone making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our Lockdown Golden Knights YouTube channel. I am a longtime sportscaster, the host of Saturday Sports Beat, 8 to 9 a.m. on Saturday, of course, on Odyssey, and a marketing consultant. And Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports and the collectibles editor for the Hockey News. Coming up ahead, as we mentioned, from the top, we are capping off NHL Goalie Week. We'll talk about Adin Hill, left off of the NHL's top 10 goaltenders list, the top 5 all-time VGK goalies, and it's WTF Day. So, Chris, as we saw yesterday, NHL Network releasing its list of the top 10 goaltenders. And from the top, Connor Hellebuyck, you have Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, Bobrovsky, Jake Ottinger is number 5, Ilya Sorokin. You've got number 7, Jordan Binnington, then Philip Gustafsson, Darcy Kemper, and 10th is Linus Ullmark. Was the Golden Knights' Adin Hill overlooked in this poll?
It's tough. Adin Hill has had some very good moments, and he's had some mid moments, and that doesn't make him much different than really a lot of goalies. Hellebuyck at number 1, I don't know if I agree with that, but he's definitely above. I mean, I guess where is the cut line possibly? Hellebuyck, yes. Vasilevsky, yes. Shesterkin, Bobrovsky. Jake Ottinger at number 5. That's the first one where I'm going to kind of start to ask questions.
Oh, you're going to pull a DeBoer and pull him.
Yes. I mean, you look at...
You're taking him out of the poll.
He's been an NHL starter for, 4 or 5 seasons, depending on how you look at this right now. Save percentage, 905, 919, 914. So, I mean, I get it. I do and I don't. Sorokin plays for the Islanders. You don't even really think about him much because it's boring, but he's always putting up 909, 907, 924 save percentages. And then now we're at Binnington. We'll just kind of pause for a second, but Binnington, I mean, yes, he did what he did in the exhibition tournament last year, and he's of course a Stanley Cup winner. Very similar, of course, to Adin Hill. I think you just look at the tenure of Binnington, which probably is why he's up here and Adin Hill isn't.
Yeah, why do goalies even have their own week? I was trying to figure that out yesterday. I mean, Major League Baseball, they should have catcher's week, I think. And long snapper week should be a good thing in football.
You say long snapper week? There we go.
I don't know. So again, would you put Adin Hill in your top 10? You're talking about, I mean, he's a serviceable goalie, right? I mean, I don't know how to describe him, what the category might be, but 50 games last season. He has 32 wins, 32, 13, and 5. These are terrific numbers when you really break it down. And 2.47, 906 save percentage. And there are some players that think that he could catapult past. Now, you did mention Ottinger. I think he would tumble in my poll from the 5th spot too. 38, 18, and 4, I think was his record. Hellebuyck again from the top. I think the top 4 might all be better. I don't know about Ottinger at number 5. You could even put perhaps Adin Hill in this poll when you look at the bottom ones. Oh, here's an interesting one at number 8. Gustafsson from Minnesota. 58 games. Okay, you go with the number of games. What was it? 36 wins, 2.56, 914. And the numbers are comparable when you break it down. And Gustafsson had more starts with Minnesota than Adin Hill, but the record is there, and save percentage, goals against average.
Gustafsson and Ottinger would be the question marks that I would take a long, hard look at. Definitely Gustafsson. I mean, 39, 45, 58 games last year in a 914 versus Adin Hill's 50 games last year in a 906. I mean, that's a pretty sizable gap right there. And I think just when you look at Adin Hill's situation, he's been in the NHL on and off since 2017. It's taken until 2023 to become an official starter. He, even in the Stanley Cup year, he was number 2 on the list as far as, the starters go. And Bressois obviously had the net going into that Stanley Cup playoff, that run, obviously, that the Golden Knights wound up winning. If Adin Hill does 1, maybe 2 more seasons at 50 starts and call it a 906 or better, then Adin Hill will force himself onto this list, especially if another deep playoff run or a Stanley Cup is in the team's immediate future. Was it a snub to leave him off? I don't think it's a snub. I think the ordering of the top 10 in general is questionable, but I don't think it's a snub to leave him off. And I mean, I guess I'll get my dig. Logan Thompson will make this list probably before Adin Hill anyway.
Oof. So in any event, Gustafsson, yes, I think could be replaced on that list. Binnington was mid, like other than his contributions in the Four Nations, right? When you look at, his numbers, what was it, 50 games, 56 games, whatever it was, 28,
yeah, that's a worse Blues team than the Golden Knights also.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So where do you think? So I think Adin Hill, to answer the question, I think he should be in the top 10, given what this looks like, the construction of this list. But where do you think he finished up in the voting? Is he like 12th, 11th? Like, is he 15th? Where do you
I
think
would say right around that
would
12.
be?
I think the 12 marker is fair.
Well,
I think
okay.
him, jokes aside, I think him, Adin
No.
Hill, and Logan Thompson are like right at the cut line right now. And I
Yeah,
think it just comes down to time of service for both of them.
LT should have gotten some votes, especially based on this past season. He's up there. He's a top 10 goaltender based on what he just did compared to, Sorokin, though. Sorokin, when you look at one of the plus sides for him, 60 starts. I know that was a miserable.
Twice. He did it twice, and he had 52 and 56 the other 2 seasons.
That's a lot of mileage. So you might have to just give him benefit of the doubt there. And you look at Adin Hill again, a cup winner and not getting the respect, I believe, from the NHL. He isn't, and he's been, again, I put him in that serviceable category, and he does step up. 50 starts is 50 starts.
Yeah.
When you look at it, right, and you really start to break things down.
Adin Hill is a serviceable, above average goalie that likely makes most of his layups and will steal a game or 2 every now and then, and capable of going on an insane run like we saw during the 22-23 Stanley Cup final. Is Adin Hill as consistent as anyone else in this top 10 when you go and chop up their numbers? Yes and no. So I think the tiebreaker comes down to the fact that most of these goalies, Gustafsson's the only one who has limited time of service, but all of these goalies they've been around a lot longer. They've been doing it at a level equal to or higher than Adin Hill for the last, 6, 7, 8 years, depending on which goalie we're talking about. Yes, the Stanley Cup definitely matters. No doubt there are non-Stanley Cup winners on this list. I get that.
Right.
They just simply have more games and more tenure, and they just look the part a little bit better, I guess, as far as how long they've been doing it for.
For Adin Hill to make this list next year, again, 50-plus starts this upcoming season. Again, perhaps a better win percentage. And we broke down those numbers. He was 50 starts 25 times. His goals against average and his save percentage needs to be over 900. 25 times his save percentage was above that cut line. So
Adin is 150 start season away, 55 start season away from being considered a very high quality NHL starter.
Coming up next, our salute still to NHL goaltender week. The theme, continues as we name our third of a quarter century top 5 Golden Knights goaltenders on Lockdown Golden Knights, WTF. The NFL season is upon us, and FanDuel is making sure that you are ready for kickoff as everything gets into full swing this weekend. Of course, we've got the big game overseas in Brazil tonight. You've got the Chiefs playing there, and then Sunday, our beloved Raiders are in action in New England. Right now, new customers, they can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you will get $300 in bonus bets to use across the application. And of course, FanDuel is definitely the fit. Whatever you like to do, however you like to bet, player props, building a same game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. And it makes every game more exciting, whether you are watching your team or just keeping an eye out for your fantasy lineup. And of course, it is quick, it is easy, and it adds a lot of spice to your Sundays. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app today, and you can visit FanDuel.com, and you can get everything started, get it underway. That's FanDuel.com. And again, first your $5 bet, and if that wins, your first one, you'll receive $300 in bonus bets at FanDuel.com. Turning the page, welcome back. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our Lockdown Golden Knights YouTube channel. So, our list of the 5, I know, much anticipated. We need a drum roll of sorts. Top 5 all-time VGK goaltenders. And again, this is our salute to goalies because they matter.
Salute. When do we salute to goalies? I hate goalies.
All right. So start at the top or start at the bottom? Where do you want to go?
Let's go from the top down because the top 3 are pretty, I think, set. And then 4 and 5 are probably where the drama goes.
Well, okay. So Michael Hutchinson, number 1. No, Mark AF. Mark AF is definitely number 1. Played 4 seasons. Marc-Andre Fleury in the 2-point-something category, goals against average every season. 2020 and the 2021 season combined, a 1.98 goals against average. That was his Vezina season, 26-10, 928 save percentage. No qualms there, right?
No, Marc-Andre Fleury is number 1 for on the ice, off the ice, big part of building the Golden Knights identity from the ground up. And I mean, there's not enough. We could do 2 hours on everything great that Marc-Andre Fleury did just with his time as a Vegas Golden Knight, let alone his NHL career. But Marc-Andre Fleury, hands down, top 5 or number 1 goaltender of all time for VGK. This is like a band, like this is like Pearl Jam, like in 91, 10 comes out, and then 93 was Versus or something like that. And then they get a greatest hits album like 4 years after the band started. That's what we're doing right now. We have a greatest hits album for a band that's only been around for 8 years.
How many greatest hits albums did the band Chicago have? Do you know that? I don't know. They did have a bunch. They had a lot. Okay. Number two. Agree or not with Adin Hill? He doesn't get flowers?
Oh, I agree. No, I agree.
He doesn't get flowers, of course, on the NHL's list there. But again, 50-game starter, cup winner, on and on and on. 32 wins this past season, 50 starts, and that's a lot. And we'll see if there's any wear and tear on that body. Can he go for 60? Do we have 60? Could you imagine Adin Hill? He might have to play 60 this upcoming season with Akira behind him.
If he goes 60, I mean, that might not be terrible, or it just might mean the Golden Knights don't have the backup situation between Schmid, Lindbaum, or inserts random goalie here worked out. But if Adin Hill goes 60 games, I think the one thing we learned about Adin Hill, he's not going to be out there if he's not close enough to 100%. He's done a very good job managing his body and getting himself to the spot where he has elevated his starts every season since he became a member of the Vegas Golden Knights. So if he gets a 60 starts, I think that could be a really good thing for him and obviously the Golden Knights. We'll see if that actually happens or not.
Not a popular choice at number 3. Cold-hearted snake. Robin Leonard. Robin Leonard, no. 44 games in 21-22, 23-17-2, 283, 907 save percentage. He had some good moments here in Vegas.
He definitely did, and I'm simply the reason why I'm going to disagree, and this is where I had a feeling this is these are the two we might flip on. I would put LT here, but talking about Leonard first, yeah, Leonard had some great moments. I think people forget about how good he was when he came to the Golden Knights. I mean, he was exceptional early on. In that first regular season, he goes 19 Nope, that's Logan. Hi, Logan. Leonard over here. All right, so he gets a few games, then the COVID shutdown, all that weirdness happens, but he was at 940 in those 3 games of the regular season.
Wow.
His playoff run, he was a 917 with the Golden Knights. Unfortunately, that's the year they fell to the Dallas Stars. He had that great Game 7 starts. Total regular season appearances was right around 66 games plus about 19 playoff games. So Leonard certainly made his mark here. Again, keeping the jokes aside, of course. The reason I'm going to put LT higher, more regular season games, did have a longer or did have a playoff run as well. And just Logan was a better goalie at the time. Leonard, unfortunately, was falling off a cliff fast where Logan was elevating.
So one of the things I just want to talk about Adin Hill for a moment, if he were more flamboyant, do you feel like flopping and making spectacular saves and the like, do you think he would get more respect? I'm just curious.
I mean, Adin Hill is not that person. Marc-Andre Fleury is smaller, and I don't know how you categorize the type of style Marc-Andre Fleury plays, but Marc-Andre Fleury gets out of position a lot, and he makes up for it with these incredible saves,
He's athletic.
And everything.
Right.
Adin Hill, Robin Leonard, a lot of parallels. They're big bodies. They're going to make a lot of key saves simply by being in position and the puck hitting them versus this windmill glove save. And even Adin Hill, we've seen the ability with that crazy stick save and some amazing moments, of course, in the playoffs and the regular season. But they're more boring goalies. They're big bodies. The puck's just going to find them versus Marc-Andre Fleury is going to go left to right, overskate it dramatically, and then hopefully doesn't gaff it and makes a big save.
And then, of course, Logan Thompson, 56 wins here in Vegas, played in 4 seasons here with VGK. So I can flip-flop those two as well. Number 5 is where I got stuck. And amongst the what's that?
I'm curious what you got for 5.
Well, it was between Maxime Lagacé, Oscar Dansk, your guy Hutchinson, Larry Brossoit. Brossoit, 7-0-3 in 22-23. And then he gets injured in the Cup playoffs, and that opens the door for Adin Hill to be the man. But number 5.
Are we going to agree? Are we actually going to agree on this?
Is it Malcolm Subban?
It is Malcolm Subban.
Come on. Seriously?
I wrote down Sub.
Yeah, I wrote down Sub there. I didn't know. Seriously, that number 5 spot was really difficult. I look at Sub, 58 starts in 3 seasons, 13-4-2 in the 2017-2018 Cup run. People might forget about the way that he played, that first year.
Malcolm Subban was key. Marc-Andre Fleury, a lot of injuries and everything, and Sub had the net for a long time. 22 games and a 910 save percentage. That was his peak of his NHL career. He also sang the national anthem once at a Buffalo Sabres game. You know that?
Yeah, you told
me. He was on the team injured and rostered. And here to sing the national anthem is Malcolm Subban. So that's the tiebreaker
it was mid. It was a mid performance.
Yeah, but Brossoit never has done the national anthem.
Not even in Canadian? No.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think that was a tiebreaker for me. But
yeah.
Subban, 3 quality years with the Golden Knights. He fell off, obviously, in 1920, 8-9-0. And if anyone is mad about the Robin Leonard situation, you got no one to blame but Malcolm Subban for falling off.
So Subban
that's what happened.
Subban is still hanging around, right? Why not sign him for a number
Belleville
2?
Senators, 24 starts.
The Belleville Senators. Coming up
In
next
Belleville.
that leads us into WTF. Good segue. We'll talk about it when we return. What the Friday on the way right after this on Locked On Golden Knights. Welcome back on Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting from Las Vegas. Thanks so much for making us your first listen each and every day. Next week, we go back to our 5-day schedule. The fun is over. We actually worked 4 days a week over the summer, and we threw in a little bit extra, right, for the fans out there.
The fourth day was the extra.
That was extra. Yeah, because we're only obligated to do 3 shows per week. So we just had so much content over the summer. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you guys come up with all this content? And I said, I don't know. We just make stuff
You
up.
ever seen those magic 8 balls?
WTF day.
There it comes.
Here it comes. Yeah, we just roll snake eyes there. WTF. So no VGK roster yet for the rookie faceoff. That's in a week from now, Chris. Next week, Utah, Colorado, they have their rosters in. They are set. They've released theirs. No VGK. I'm really surprised. So I do believe we'll probably get it Saturday night at about 11:02 p.m. It'll come, or maybe Sunday night at 11:03.
Weekend news dump.
WTF? Why isn't that out yet? This is crazy. For that first game, come on.
My WTF. So yesterday I'm playing hockey in the morning. I'm getting ready in the locker room. Gentleman sits down next to me, and I happen to notice that he has a prosthetic leg from basically the knee down approximately. So we strike up a conversation. Of course, I'm curious on how that translates to being able to skate and play hockey. So we talk for a little while and explains kind of what happened and what his progression was. And I asked, how long has he been skating like this?
That's crazy.
And I think if I got the date correct, and I hope I'm right on this, January the 10th, I believe, is when the moment happened, I guess we'll say it like that, when he became an amputee. Fast forward 8 months later, dude is ice skating. And he's not just ice skating and playing hockey.
That's
He's
amazing.
also water skiing, and
that's
he wants
amazing.
to ski slopes and everything, and just bicycling and running and continuing all these athletic events that he once did, that maybe we take for granted. So I guess where I'm going with this is the next time any of us complain about having it difficult, or maybe there's a hurdle in front of us that's preventing us from achieving something personal or family or business related, just think for a second that 8 months ago someone had became an amputee and they're able to go out there and play hockey. So that's my WTF, little
That's
inspirational Friday WTF.
That's a good one. WTF, you said something about jumping hurdles. Well, somebody needs to jump Tomas hurdle in this fantasy football draft.
What a segue.
I don't know where I was going.
What a segue.
So we posted a photo of the VGK fantasy football draft, and they did it at a place there in the Uncommons Mall right across from Durango. Who do you think wins this fantasy football league? And you and I tweeted something out. You came back about an hour later, whatever. You probably stole my stuff again, WTF. I said Alex Pietrangelo because he's got all sorts of time. He'll have all sorts of time to study there, and he'll be pretty good about putting his lineup in on time. Hannafin, Stone, who else did we see? Carlson, Theodore, Hurdle was there, Colasar.
Carlson's a soccer guy, so he didn't get all kickers. He's gonna draft 2 kickers. He's gonna take a kicker in the 6th round.
Oh my goodness, this is great. I'll bet there was a lot of beer drinking and a lot of trash talking at that league there to draft it. WTF. P.S. I followed the bar. I posted that photo. Full disclosure. I follow that bar. It's called, what is it called? Something admission, whatever it is. I follow the bar. I do not follow the players. I do not. I had to get that out there. Disclaimer. WTF. Yoda Jenkins says, WTF, Amari Cooper signs a 1-year deal with the Golden Knights. Hold on. Breaking news. He thinks that he's jumping, WTF, he's jumping from football It's general admission. That's the name of that bar. He thinks that he's jumping Amari Cooper from football with the Raiders to VGK. WTF?
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
WTF, here comes all the people talking about state income tax and stuff again now that Eichel is up for a new contract.
Okay.
And I don't know if how much that's going to matter at the end of the day. I think it seems that Jack is going to go for a number that doesn't necessarily matter as much. I don't think he's going to give necessarily that home. I mean, if it comes in anything less than 14, maybe there is a bit of a hometown discount, but I think I'm just looking at the comments from yesterday's show. A lot of people talking about the taxes and everything.
What are they saying? What are they saying?
The no state income tax that's worth for $1 million. That's good for $1 million, and a couple.
Very
other
true.
ones.
But that's true. That's true. You could take.
Yeah,
that.
but I don't think he's going to say, okay, well, 14 million is a target, so I'm going to sign for 13. I don't think that's necessarily.
Think so?
I don't think that's going to matter. I think Jack is going to go for the right fair number, and 14 is probably still that fair number given everything that's happening here. And then, hey guy, 01010, anything more than 11 million is too much for Jack Eichel.
And
go back to Buffalo. Go back to Buffalo, bro.
Signed Buffalo, Buffalo fan.
Go back to Buffalo with love.
That's great.
PHX.
WTF, we were talking about the postseason salary cap, but we neglected to mention the name of Alex Pietrangelo. WTF.
Not sure we're going to save that for a Monday story or not, but yeah, I had that on my radar too.
Was that on your napkin?
It's a good topic. I think it's a topic.
What, the impact on Monarch Monday? We're going to break things up there with
Pietrangelo Wednesday. I don't know.
Post
Petro Wednesday. Is it Wednesdays when they do
salary
VGK
cap?
does the free fuel days?
Oh, geez.
Well, I got a funny WTF. I went to picked up the groceries from Smith's the other day, and they always tell you, okay,
and you saw Mark Stone taking selfies in the parking lot.
But they always tell you, okay, you have XYZ in this, and then you have XYZ in fuel points, but I guess that doesn't matter to you anymore. That gave me a chuckle. So
WTF there. The beat goes on. And again, on Monday, we are back to 5 full days a week. Hockey is upon us.
No half days, whole days.
Whole days, because we're very wholesome on this show. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers.
Drag this out for 15 seconds. Let's see how this goes.
Tuning in around the globe. Go UNLV Rebels, beat UCLA, of course, the alma mater. We appreciate you tuning in wherever you might be. Again, we can't say that enough. On Monday, we've got Monarch Monday.
Oh, Monday.
Yes, we do need to definitely pub that. For my man, Chris Golick, I am Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you again Monday, a full week ahead. It's goalie week, man. Let's put a cap on this right here on Locked On Golden Knights.